Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews. It's a giant robot Frankenstein. You're Oh, hey, it's a Bayformer.
A monster! That's what you turned me into! A metal Frankenstein monster! I'm getting to like this powerful robot body! You suck!
You are badass. Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another 31 Horror Toys in 31 Days! And today we're going to take a look at a third-party Transformers figure. It's from Blue Lobster and it's X-Frank. If you don't know who this character is, it's based off Autobot-X or Autobot-Spike, depending on what you want to call it, from the old G1 cartoon. There was an episode where Sparkplug actually put together Autobot-X, which was a bunch of spare parts of Transformers laying around, which was really creepy because he had a head. So, don't know what that was all about, but he basically ramshackled this Frankenstein monster together, and it went nuts. So they shut him off. Spike got injured in the episode, and they put his mind in this body, and he was watching an episode of Frankenstein, or the movie Frankenstein, not an episode, but the movie, and he's all twisted in the head and feels like Frankenstein's monster, and when it all comes down to it, this really is Frankenstein for the Transformers, which is awesome. I've always loved this character. I love the episode. I've always wanted an incarnation of that character in plastic, and it's finally here. Now, I got this at Big Bad Toy Store. It was $44 plus shipping, and I gotta say, the thing's pretty hefty. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here we have X-Frank in the packaging, and it's pretty cool. I like the grid pattern, very G1-esque. It's got the Blue Lobster logo down there. It says Blue Lobster, ages 16 and up. X-Frank. Top of the package says X-Frank. Sides got some artwork. That side's the same artwork, so just kind of a close-up. Yeah, there's the artwork. Looks pretty cool. I am digging it. It's definitely a hefty piece. So that's exciting for the price, at least. So yeah, very cool. Back of the package here. It's got a front shot, side shot, back shot of the robot, and then it's from front of, like, looks like Teletrain 1, and is that Wheeljack? Yep, a Wheeljack, probably their version of Wheeljack. So pretty cool. Again, just kind of a close-up. Yeah, looks pretty neat. I like it. Very cool looking. Very fun. Yes, definitely pretty awesome. Anything on the bottom? Oh, hey, no, choking hazard. That's all is at the bottom. So that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get X-Frank out of the box and see what we think. So here we have X-Frank out of the packaging, and this is a very interesting figure. Now, as I mentioned when I had him in the box, this is very heavy. It's because this is like a really thick rubber type material or some kind of composite. It's not a hard plastic, which really gives it a lot of weight. It's also a very solid piece, which is pretty cool. Now, articulation's not all that great. It's a little bit disappointing. But, I mean, he didn't have that much articulation on the show. He was kind of a walking Frankenstein robot. But still, I wish there was a little bit more than what there is. So now, the articulation on this figure is the head is on a ball joint. His head goes that far down. It goes that far forward or upward. It does spin all the way around, which is nice, and you can kind of get him a nice little wobble right there. This arm moves up and down right here, and there's a single joint at the elbow. The hand right here is also on a ball joint at the wrist, which is not too terribly bad. Now, this arm does move up ever so slightly, but it's hampered by this door. It also moves outward ever so slightly, and then it has a single jointed hinge at that elbow, and then obviously there's nothing here at the gun. There is nothing at the waist, nothing at the hips, knees, or ankles. Pretty much everything else is just a solid rubber statue, which is a bit of a shame. For $44, I would have liked at least to have a waist twist and at least a twist at the knee to be able to move the legs like that. I think for the cost and the type of design, that could have been easily done. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I love this sculpt. This looks almost identical to the character that we had seen in the original G1 cartoon. He's got the little Frankenstein bolts on his helmet there. He's got the ratchet, visor piece. He's got the red Optimus antenna piece. He's got Hound's gun on his shoulder. It's obviously supposed to be Prowl's right side of his chest, and then we got like Prowl's door, or maybe Jazz's door hanging off of there, which is really, really cool. I'm not really sure who the yellow arm part is supposed to be, or the black portion of his chest there. And I always thought he looked like Ultra Magnus in the face for some reason. I love the metallic paint on the eyes too. That looks really, really good. Overall, I mean, it's good. It looks like the character from the show. There's no doubts about that. I like how they've got the paint, over the entire body, which is nice. It's got the, it's not just all black in the back of the figure there. And it's even got some details with the handle on the door. I think that is really, really cool. It's just lacking some articulation. It's definitely a standing set piece, and it looks good. The helmet, though, is a little more purple than I remember. I remember it being more blue. I don't know. Now, taking a look at the midsection of the figure, I believe the left gun arm is supposed to be off of, like, grapple, maybe. Definitely kind of looks that way. It's got the classic kind of Optimus Prime piece on the wrist. I don't know whose little gun that's supposed to be on the right arm, but that's something he had in the original show, which is cool. He's got the brown legs, again, like he had in the show. He's very asymmetrical, again, just like in the show there. The left piece has got like a little brace bar around, and it's just totally different sculpts all about, which is very, very nice. I just think they captured the look and the spirit of the character. I just wish that that waist would rotate and at least those knees rotate back and forth. And finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure, I always kind of presumed the left leg was Hound because it was green, but then again, that big wheel there, it doesn't really look much like Hound, and Hound doesn't have a red kneecap, but yeah, it could be just like component parts of different Autobots. I like how the leg has got these silver parts there, almost like Optimus Prime with the a gas can hanging off there. I'm not sure. Great detail on the back with the white. The side of the leg is black, which is really cool, both on the outside and inside. Again, it's just completely and utterly asymmetrical, which I like. I think that's very cool. And I will say the big, wide, heavy feet not only remind me of Frankenstein, but it makes it stand very, very well. For comparison, here we have X-Frank next to the Transformers Siege Leader Class Optimus Prime. And as you can tell, this is a pretty good sized figure. I think it definitely fits into scale with the Masterpiece toys. If you're going to put him in a G1 shelf, it definitely is going to have to be with the bigger figures because he just dominates over the other figures. But then again, he is kind of a Frankenstein robot, so I can see that happening too. So is X-Frank from Blue Lobster or Autobot-X something that you want in your Transformers collection. Well, if you collect third-party Transformers, I think this is something that you're really going to like. If you are a fan of the old G1 show and you liked this particular character, this is definitely something that you're going to like. I've got some issues with the figure, primarily the articulation. I like the weight of it. The sculpt is gorgeous. It looks like the character from the cartoon episode. The face, he's got that Frankenstein snarl that he had in the episode. He's got the bolts. I still think the helmet's a bit more purple than it was in the show, but it is what it is. This figure's biggest drawback is the lack of articulation. And I don't mind it has minimal articulation because of the way it is. But it should at least have a waist swivel back and forth, and at least at the knees to be able to swivel there, if not a hinge joint in the knee. I don't know why we didn't get that. It's really more of a statue than it is an action figure. That being said, it's still damn cool. Is it worth $44? To be honest, I think it's about $15 too much. But because of fan popularity, I think it's going to sell out at some point. So if this is a key piece that you are wanting for your G1 collection, I think it'll go great with the Masterpiece figures. It'll fit perfectly fine in that scale. And if you're just completing off, every possible G1 character you can think of, this is definitely something to pick up. And the first quote-unquote official company release of this, that wasn't a custom that I've seen, and I like it. I'm glad I picked it up. So there he is, X-Frank, the Frankenstein Transformer from Blue Lobster, based off of Autobot-X or Autobot-Spike from the original G1 Transformers for 31 horror toys in 31 days.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.